Well, it's actually minis, because I was looking at the practice schedule from this morning and they're not in the same order. Minimax then, heat number 1 sees the 15 of Addison Smith on pole position with Sonny Morgan alongside championship leader Lucas Blanford. Starts in P3 alongside Oliver Fabricius with Jack Stimson and Ben Adrian on row 3. Leon Barlow and Harry Platek Holland on row 4. Ben Horner and Callum Foster complete the top 10. Melissa Adrian and Daniel Parsons are on row 6. Isaac Parkinson and Tom Nottingham row 7. Emily Cooper and Jared Fox-Whiteley row 8. Lewis Goff and Lizzie Mentia start on row 9 with Jack Burgess on row number 10 in P19. Having a quick look at some of the live chat comments, but given that we're having a rolling start here, we might not get a chance to have too much, but we have got a good luck message coming in from Laura Stimpson for Jack Stimpson, and I wish them the very best, as we saw Emily Cooper there, the number 30 machine, having a bit of an issue. And we're going to need to get this pack backed up no end before we can get going racing. There's quite a gap between the front and the back here. I'm not convinced we're going to get this one going, and we're going to go again, because that was not all of our drivers anywhere near the tram lines, and the gap to the front and the back was quite wide. So race director not happy with that one. We're going to give them another stab at it. That's what the green flag is with the yellow chevron on it. So we're going to have another go. Got a couple of other messages coming in as well. Ben Daniel says, fantastic coverage as the 94 is round of Jack Burgess. He's going to have to try and catch back up there. And he has a quick nod as Addison Smith suggests that we're going to roll around again. He's going to have to slow this one down and really back the pack up now to give us a chance. There's the marshal suggesting that they do slow down, as Oliver Fabricius has seen that they need to either the guys in front need to speed up, or the leader needs to slow it down. They do seem to be in slightly better nick this time of getting it sorted. Des Stable says it looks cold and dry. Well, that's it. The good thing is it is dry. Are we going to go racing this time? Let's see whether there's any arms off the wheel to roll round. No, we are away and racing then in Minimax, and we've got a couple of drivers facing the wrong way. In fact, we've got half the field facing the wrong way. Jared Fox-Whiteley's in there as well, facing the wrong way. And he's bogging down Emily Cooper. Looks like they were involved. So half of our junior field, or mini field, sorry, are under pressure as Addison Smith tries to go back down the inside of Lucas Blanford, who's already come through from P3 to lead this mini max class. And it looked like the leaders managed to get through. Got Fabricius there still going. Full course yellow here at Whilton Mill. So the Battenberg flag should come out in a few moments. There it is. And that means that our race leader, which will be Lucas Blanford, will be slowing the pack down into a virtual safety car. Looks like we might have a replay coming of that start here at Whilton Mill. So pole sitter there, Addison Smith on the right, as Blanford cuts across. Have a look though in the background, a couple of drivers get squeezed on to the grass as the 69 of Callum Foster has to take evasive action. The 27 of Daniel Parsons as well, unfortunately involved in that. And then further around the corner, the next corner at Crook, 3 or 4 more drivers. And if you have a look at the timing, you'll be able to figure out which ones they are. Burgess, Cooper, Morgan, Fox-Whiteley, Parsons, and a couple of runners as well there whose names are not matching their transponders. So it looks like really Callum Foster's back up to P10. So it looks like everybody outside of the top 10 was either involved in that or had to take evasive action, because looks like one of those on timing as well. I think P12 could actually be that of Lizzie Mentia, who's not showing up. Last year's Mini-Max champion, who starts this one from the back of the pack. Keep an eye out if we can for the kart 50. There it is behind Jared Fox-Whiteley. So it's actually the number P17 is Lizzie Mentia. So she could well have been involved in that incident as well. Although coming from the back, she could have just had to go all the way around the outside of everybody. Will we go racing again this time? Looks like Blanford's backing the pack up round the final corner. The time is still going though here, you see. Let's go green, and we're back and racing in Minimax Rotax heat number 1. 4.5 just over remaining then as the time continues to elapse under the virtual safety car of the Battenberg flag. as Fox Whiteley already starting to make a move, looks like on Sonny Morgan, as Addison Smith keeps the door open at Christmas Corner and is overtaken by the 71 of Jack Stimpson. Up into P2. Leon Barlow's going to try and dive down the inside. They're almost going to be 3 wide as Barlow gets down the inside of Addison Smith. Smith, though, will have track position for the left-hander of Wilkins, and he's back through as the 12 is trying to get back there. Ben Horner trying to get through, but now Addison Smith does succumb to the challenge of Leon Barlow. Mentier gets past Tom Nottingham, I think in the 115, into the Osiers right-hand complex corners. There's a little bit of contact there between Fabricius and Horner. Can't be doing too much of that though, because if you get a front fairing penalty, all the hard work of overtaking is gone as your 5 seconds is added to your race time, as Horner runs very, very wide and Fabricius is going to come through down the inside. Ben Adrian's going to try and take advantage as well, is he? Oh, and round goes the 90 of Oliver Fabricius. I'm not even sure there was contact. The issue there at Christmas Corner is on the inside of the curb, there's quite a drop-off. And if you hook your wheel on there, as you try to get it back, you end up facing the wrong way. And I'm not sure whether there was a little bit of contact on the front there as Fabricius stuck the nose in, or whether he just took too much curb and got pitched into a spin. So for the Fabricius camp this morning, not quite the day they were looking for. A contact warning comes up, so that suggests that Fabricius did actually stick the nose down there and got slightly turned round as he took an overly optimistic move. And we did see some sparks coming from that car, and it didn't look like it was actually going over the curbs either. But as everybody moves up, as Fabricius moves down, that returns Addison Smith. He was coming under pressure from Ben Horner and already goes defensive then into Christmas Corner. 2 minutes and 50 seconds remaining, and there's all now starting to back each other up. Jared Fox Whiteley goes down the inside of Lewis Goff, takes 2 down the inside as well on the 39 of Isaac Parkinson, and now takes up 2 positions. That should move him up into P9 maybe now, as Callum Foster's already got through on Parkinson. They're going to be 2 wide as they head down to the boot complex. It's a left and then 3 rights. Horner on the inside of Addison Smith, and Smith gets the cut back down the inside, and the Adrians, both Ben and Melissa, are looking to come through. They're still going to be side by side. What an intense battle this is between Smith and Horner is back through. And now Smith could get hung out to dry as he had to take a slightly more tighter line. He's going to go to the inside. The train follows him to the inside. Looks like there's a little bit of contact there. Ben Adrian, as Addison Smith takes his hand off the wheel. That suggests that he wasn't overly impressed with that, but Ben Adrian down the inside. To be fair to Adrian, there was another train of carts pushing him in down the inside. So even if he wanted to stop, I'm not sure he could have done, as Melissa Adrian gets down the inside of Addison Smith. And Smith this time manages to go defensive, but there is a big train of carts now behind the 15 as Jared Fox Whiteley has a slight tap on the back of Lewis Goff. Goff has a quick look over his shoulders. Lizzie Mentier dives down the inside of Callum Foster into that corner, and there she is in the 50 in the turquoise and black cart, coming through from the back of the pack. It's being chased now by Foster, Cooper and Fabricius. Personal bests coming in then for Ben Adrian and Isaac Parkinson as Fabricius gets back up to 13th as everybody runs wide over the rumble strip. 1 minute and 10 remaining, and Jared Fox Whiteley to the inside of Lewis Goff, and Lizzie Mentier as well forcefully comes through. Nice bit of work there from Mentier going into the gap created by Jared Fox Whiteley. And a clean move down the inside of Lewis Goff. So Lizzie Mentier, who started from the tail of the field, thought she might have come through a little bit more, but she was involved in that incident earlier on and wasn't able to take advantage, although dives to the inside of Fox Whiteley. Late move into Osiers and comes through. So the pace now from Lizzie Mentier starting to pick up as she starts to pick them off. Fox Whiteley was in 9th. There's Goff behind as well, so she could be up to P8 as they come through and over the line this time. 33, so they're going to get 2 more laps then of this Whilton Mill International Circuit, and that is Lizzie Mentier, the one that's been shown as TX54465. That's the transponder number allocated to her name. As there's a move, looks like Fabricius was trying to get down the inside of Emily Cooper in the background. That would have been for P12 as Cooper in that stripy helmet. We spoke to her yesterday. You might catch her on the paddock walk later on in between some of our races. We do have F160 up in a few moments time, and we're not covering that race. So as Mentier goes down the inside then of the 77 of Harry Platek Holland, moves up into P7. Gap though back there now is to Melissa Adrian is around 6 tenths. It's going to be a hard task now as for her to catch up onto the back of Millie in P6, but still a good Good return for Mentia, making up nearly 10 places in this opening race of the day. Out at the front there, Lucas Blanford. Once he got there, he's just disappeared off into the distance, as he did often at fullback, as Fox Whiteley goes down the inside as well of the 77 of Platek Holland, and Lewis Goff could take advantage of this, as Platek Holland will now go wide. Goff's going to come to the inside, and Goff set that one up. As soon as he saw Fox Whiteley overtaking at Christmas, he knew he could get an opportunity, and he's going to come through. And unfortunately for Platek Holland, he's dropped a couple of places, not really through any of his own fault, just that he got hung out to dry really by Fox Whiteley. The check is already out for Lucas Blanford. We're going to stick with this battle though, as Emily Cooper battles it out in then. They're still side by side into the final complex of corners. That's Kerr Foster's going to be round the outside. He's going to have to be brave, and he is. Keeps his foot in round the final corner, and he's going to hold on, and he's going to take P11. So your top 10 then in our Minimax class. Blanford, Stimpson and Barlow the top 3. Ben Adrian, Addison Smith, Melissa Adrian in 6th, with Mentia, Fox Whiteley, Goff and Platek Holland completing the top 10.